So notice our next request, just to make a few changes, right? So we're going to increase our volume. So think about, we are in pressure ventilation with a volume target. So when we increase our volume target, what's going to happen to pressure? Yeah, we would expect it to go up, right? So our peak pressure is going to have to go up to deliver this volume. In addition, you'll notice that our PEEP is going to go up by another 2 as well. That's also going to push both our mean and our peak pressure up. So our mean right now is 12. Increasing our tidal volume, we expect to push it up, as well as increasing our peak. So both of those are going to result in an increase in mean airway pressure. Now, what may play a little bit of a game with that is we are going to actually be increasing our frequency and changing our IE ratio to reflect that. So let's look what happens here when this occurs, because that's going to be a little more tricky. So because we've got a number of changes we're going to do here all at once, let's do them on the big screen, on the full menu. So we're going to significantly reduce our total cycle time, peak to 8. And now, right now, we actually have an inverse ratio of 1.5 to 1, but remember we want this to be a 1 to 2.5 ratio. So I'm going to turn that down to 0.95 of a second again. Okay, so we have significantly reduced our I time as well as our total cycle time. So when I hit accept now, let's look for the changes that we had talked about. So first thing, notice our peak and mean did go up, but we have a problem. We can see that we are auto-triggering. So I'm going to turn this down to -1, see if that will deal with the problem. That did. Remember, we always want it as sensitive as possible without auto-triggering. So now our peep high is going to go off because we've set it as high as our upper limit. So whenever we make changes, we also have to make adjustments to our alarms. So that'll take care of that, but let's adjust our other things as well. Notice our minute ventilation is now probably about 6, well, saying 6.5 and staying there. So we'll raise this to 5.5. We'll put, again, we don't mind if our rate goes up some, so let's put this to 12, which would be a reasonable level. Notice our peak pressure is now 25, so we need to have this 10 to 15 above, so I'll put it up to 35. And let's increase our respiratory rate to at least a couple below again. All right, so now we've adjusted everything. Let's hit accept. Okay. Now notice our tidal volume was still around 500. Once we hit accept, okay, let me back up. So our peak was staying at 25, which was keeping our tidal volume below 500. And with pressure regulated volume control, what happens is our high pressure alarm, whatever it's set at, so it was set at 30, it maintains the soft buffer so that it won't allow our pressure breath to come closer than 5 centimeters of water to it. So you'll notice I increased our peak pressure to 35, and now suddenly we're running at 5. We're to that buffer, and you'll notice we still don't have the tidal volume of 600. So that's telling us we have to make a choice here. Are we going to allow the pressure to go higher than 30, or are we going to accept a lower tidal volume? we can see we're going to need to raise this to at least 35, which means we'll need our pressure to at least 40. Probably need to go to 45, 10, 15 above. That might be 10 above. We'll see. So now watch. Notice our pressure's going up again, along with our volume. 575. We're almost to our 600 now. 32. Might make it as high as 33. There we go. So you can see it's vacillating up and down a little bit, but getting us there. So this has gone from like 31.9 to 32, 32.1, 32.3, 33. It can't be 32.5, otherwise it would roll over to 33. But you can see it has fine-tuned to finally we hit 600 there. So in increments of very small increments, less than 1 centimeter water pressure, we have increased the ventilator setting until we actually get to 600.